G'day, Phil.
G'day, Bruce. How are you?
How are we today?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. Better for seeing you.
Right, and as you quite rightly say, the big shopping centres, the parking's available. You can stay there all day if you want to, have a cup of coffee, have lunch there. Everything's under one roof. It's going to start to rain.
It's not as enticing to go shopping on Bridge Road or Chapel Street anymore.
Yeah, the old DFOs out there at Essendon are pretty hard to beat.
Absolutely, yeah. There's the one at Essendon now. There's the one at Southern Cross Station. There's the original one in Moorabbin, South Wharf. And then you've got all the sales and the VIP nights that Chadstone and High Point and all the Westfield put on. So
yes.
You're a thrifty shopper. You're going to go where the sales are. And not only that, there's also online now as well. And Bridge Road and Chapel Street can't really compete with that.
Yes, online is another competitor, isn't it?
It's tough out there, Mel, isn't it?
Oh.
Yes.
I know, and we're just trying to be thrifty. So wherever the bargain is, that's where the shoppers are going to go.
So, Mel, it's mainly DFO for you.
Absolutely. If I want something that's on sale, I'll go to DFO, and I tend to go to the Essendon one or the South Wharf one.
Sure,
right.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you for ringing. That's put a whole new look at it. Thank you very much indeed, Mel.
Yeah, so I think two main reasons are high rents and parking problems, as we discussed.
Yeah, but also cutting of prices. The web comes into it, the net.
Yeah. And in years gone by, you'd wait for the sales till after Christmas. Now they're all year round, aren't they?
Well, that's a thing of the past. I mean, the stock-taking sale is a thing from the bygone era, when people would wait in front of Myers in Burke Street to get in through and virtually smash those double doors to get in.
You're right.
On, New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve.
Yeah. You're right.
The Boxing Day sales, they're a thing of the past.
It's not unusual to go to JB Hi-Fi or Harvey Norman and find 20% off on any odd day of the week, you know, with all these catalogues that are coming out.
I'd hate to be in retail.
Yes, it'd be tough, wouldn't it?
Gee.
And I don't think I'd like to run a restaurant either where you're on your feet all day and you're waiting for the last customer to go.
Oh, yes.
I'd be saying to them, look, it's 10 o'clock now, I need to get home to Oro.
Yes, it's 10 o'clock and the Commonwealth Bank is open for business. Can you nick off now?
Yeah, look, you know, we're going to turn off the lights now and close the kitchen. Would you please leave?
Listen, we better get on to ratings. Are you interested in the...
Yes, Sunday ratings especially. It's very competitive.
Well, the TV...
15 late times.
Oh, it could have been, and it would have been a repeat, I think, normally Tuesday or Wednesday night.
It was a repeat. Thanks for that.
Okay, Family Feud, interesting, just sniffing outside the top 10. That's quite a contender there for some big things, I think.
They love it, don't they? It's on 6 nights a week.
They do. They do indeed. All right, it's 14 past 10, 3AW.
Expert pet behaviourist Laura V talks about Kong.
Our dogs are our best friends, but sometimes we encourage needy behaviours that can result in separation anxiety when we're not around. Help your dog realise that whilst you're out, the world won't end. Make your departures positive by rewarding your dog with a Kong treat dispenser like the Kong Wobbler. Fill it with what they love, and they may not even notice you're gone. See the full Kong range at your local pet retailer or visit kongcompany.com.
Family treasures can be so important to telling the story of a lifetime. But who's got the space at home to keep everything under one roof? If you've got large or bulky family heirlooms that just aren't being used, call Storage King. With locations all over town, there's a Storage King just around the corner. And your precious memories will be safe and easy to access whenever you need them.
Call 1-800-STORAGE today and let Storage King give you back some space.
Storage with Storage King.
There's something about the sea air and something idyllic about Sorrento, a lovely place to live in comfort. Sorrento Lodge Residential Aged Care offers all levels of individual care. Home-cooked meals are enjoyed in a home-like environment with just 34 residents and an extensive activities program including exercise, gardening, bingo and bowls and trips to the beach. Have a chat to Sorrento Lodge and find out more. Call 5984-2646. That's 5984-2646.
As any good gardener knows, you don't wait until spring to plan your spring garden. But while it's chilly outdoors, you don't need to get your hands dirty. See Town & Country Gardens for No Worries Gardening. They can come to your home, discuss your ideas, plan and design your spring garden, and plant it out for you. See? No worries. Town & Country Gardens, big enough to provide all your gardening needs, small enough to care. Now around the corner from the old store at 1311 High Street, Malvern.
Hi, it's Alan from House of Recliners. For comfort, relaxation and total body support, you can't go past Lazy Boy Recliners. See our huge range of Lazy Boy in fabric and leather. House of Recliners, Turek Road, Camberwell, or houseofrecliners.com.au.
Are you planning or selling your home soon and have some questions you want answered about real estate? Well, maybe you're feeling a bit apprehensive about dealing directly with a real estate agent. Some people get a bit scared, a little bit tentative. Many people do, and sometimes for good reason.
Well, here's the answer. Ian Reid has a team of lovely customer service girls. They'll speak to you, they'll answer your questions. You might have queries about selling your property.
Listen, the best thing to do, ring them tomorrow, ask any silly question, any naive question that you have, and you'll get an impartial, objective and helpful advice. 94300000.
Don't forget to ask for your copy of the free book, Fatal Real Estate Traps Exposed. It's a wonderful booklet that every home seller should have, and it's absolutely free.
Go on, ring them in the morning. 94300000. Ian Reid's Vendor Advocacy Australia, helping you sell wherever you live.
The Passing Parade for Roth Newton. More lounge suites than ever before. Lazy Boy, IMG and Aussie made.
Oh, no, the Passing Parade's a little way off
Just
you.
put the fear of dread through Peter Hitchener. His left leg started twitching. His whole backside quivered in the wind, thinking, am I on too late? Where am I?
Where am I? Gone.
Indeed.
I know you. I was lovely on that last commercial when you say, "Go on, do it tomorrow," like that ad for years ago. You don't need newer.
The Passing Parade for Roth Newton. More lounge suites than ever before. Lazy Boy, IMG and Aussie made.
Oh, no, the Passing Parade's a little way off
Just
you.
put the fear of dread through Peter Hitchener. His left leg started twitching. His whole backside quivered in the wind, thinking, am I on too late? Where am I?
Where am I? Gone.
Indeed.
I know you. I was lovely on that last commercial when you say, "Go on, do it tomorrow," like that ad for years ago. You don't need new upholstery. You need Mastercraft.
Yeah,
it was just the same sort of read, and
Mastercraft, I'd lift that. That's
you remember
an
that?
endorsement from a newsreader.
Oh, cut it out.
No, I know.
By the way, speaking of newsreaders, I know of one who was one of the leading lights at the Lygon Street Festa years ago when it started, and his name is Bruce Mansfield.
Yes, it was. I went to the first Lygon Street Festa. I was working at 3XY in Faraday Street, so got to know the tailor across the way, who was Delmonico. How's that from memory?
Yes, Delmonico, that's right.
Delmonico suits good. I will fit you. Father, the two sons.
Yes.
And they sort of spearheaded the Festa Don Besta, as it was known.
Oh, is that so?
And they would bring out opera singers from overseas, from Italy. They'd bring out jugglers and artists, and it was just Lygon Street.
They'd close off Lygon Street, wouldn't they, for the parade?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They did. And, of course, the tradition continues because it was just on this weekend, on Sunday, and there were cars and gelati and pizzas and mopeds and scooters and the works, and everyone had a marvellous time.
How many years, then? Did they say 20, did
No,
they?
I think it might be more than 20.
More than 20, I
It's a
think.
long time, but it grows in popularity, and it shows that even though you've been talking tonight about shops that are up for lease in various suburbs, Lygon Street keeps on ticking over, and
it has a richness, hasn't it?
Hasn't it just?
Food
Hasn't it
and
just?
fashion.
People like it, and people like going to
round
the
about
restaurants.
The time of Delmonico getting into the Festa Don Besta. Is it known as that, or is that just something in my imagination?
Now they're calling it Carlton Italian Festa.
Ah, right.
But it's the same deal.
But around about the time La Mama started.
Yes. That's
La
right.
Mama in Faraday Street.
Faraday Street, that's right.
With left-of-centre plays.
That's right.
And one-man shows.
A performance space.
Yes.
And you know, a generation ago, it used to be the Jewish quarter. Oh, yes, before all
Was
our
it
Jewish
really?
friends moved down to
That's right.
Balaclava and South
I
Caulfield.
think I remember you mentioning that once before, and I wasn't aware of that.
And just getting back to La Mama, it was always left of centre. You didn't
Yes.
go there. You didn't, or if you did, you didn't say anything.
Look out! yes, it was very sort of.
And opposite 3XY
innovative.
Was the first breakfast bar for the university students. Oh, what was the name of that?
Is that called the University Club? It's lovely teak wood inside, the walls, and
yes,
it's like a ship.
All the kids from university went there.
Still there.
For breakfast.
Yeah, I think it's still there.
What the name of it? And there was a great theatre next to that too, wasn't there? A movie theatre.
Yes, I remember it well. I've been to movies there, the Carlton Theatre.
King and Godfrey were on the corner, the grocer shop.
Isn't that wonderful? You remember? I also, when you said the tailors, I'm sure I've heard Hal Todd doing a commercial for them.
Yes,
or was that Del Monte? Might have been
Del Monte.
Yes. But however, we're reverting to an earlier time, an earlier era.
Sure. Then there was the Copperwood, wasn't there? The Copperwood restaurant.
Yes. It's still going,
Well, I think so. It's been there forever. Yeah. And the first pizza in Melbourne was sold at Toto's.
Toto, that's correct.
About 30 years ago.
And that breakfast bar that you were alluding to before, probably going out to breakfast wasn't done all that much all those years ago. Oh, no, we'll cook up a breakfast at home.
That's right.
But you know, this naughty modern idea of going out for breakfast might have just caught on a bit.
Opposite the 3XY studios in Faraday Street, the Dover Hotel, frequented by Johnny Young, myself. Who else was there?
Norman Banks in the old days.
No, Norman Banks.
KZ, down on the Trades Hall.
But Norman at a pub, I can't believe it.
Oh, yes.
Let me just tell you. Come here, my son. Sit on my knee. Well, you're a great talent, and I love... You know, I love watching you on 6 o'clock on 9. I used to be Eric Pierce. I never got on very well with Eric. He was at XY, I was at AW, but you know, our paths never crossed. But you know, you're a great talent. There are times at the 3KZ in the Trades Hall, I would go across to the Dover Hotel. 6 o'clock closing, of course, get half a dozen bottles, Phil, as you're reading The Sun. Very rude.
I've heard the story.
Well,
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't.
Thank you. You're a talent. So half a dozen bottles, and 6 o'clock closing, I got my gabardine overcoat caught in the sliding doors at the Dover. And I had to ring MF 4932 to get me out. I couldn't get the gabardine out. I'm there at 6 o'clock with the cops circling the place. It was true.
Oh, dear.
I was about to be high-hefted.
Were any of the bottles actually squashed when the door closed?
No, he absolutely got the fright of his life.
Oh, my goodness.
Caught there at 6 o'clock closing, which of course was almost a libel case, wasn't it?
Yeah, but obviously there was a lot of drinking going on at the Trades Hall, wasn't there?
Oh, do you think?
I think so.
I remember when I was speaking of closing times, I remember relieving in the bush when I worked at the ABC a lifetime ago, interstate, and I had to go to one of the regional centres, and they put you up at a pub, and, you know, the pub was nice. And what I thought was amazing was the bar, you know, because I think it was 9 o'clock closing in those days. And 9 o'clock came, the lights went out, but everyone stayed in there. They just
stayed.
Just kept drinking.
And then another round.
Yes, another one, mate. And everyone's sitting there in the dark, and there's a few cigarettes glowing and things. And nobody said anything, and nobody ever arrived to raid the place. It was just amazing. It was very funny, and I thought, gosh, I've got a lot to learn about life, haven't I?
Yeah.
Douglas Elliott, who ran, what was it?
The Dootagalla.
The Dootagalla Hotel in Footscray, wasn't it?
Essendon, yes.
Essendon, yes. And at 6 o'clock closing time, he'd go into the private bar. What was that called?
The ladies had their own
The ladies and
area.
the gentlemen had their
lounge?
Their snug, their lounge. Thank you very much. And he'd go with that mellifluous radio voice. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now. 6 o'clock. I hate to break it to you, but I'm going to now. 6 o'clock closing. Time for you to skedaddle. See you tomorrow at the same time at the old Dootagalla for a little party time, okay? Then he'd go into the public bar. Righto, you swine, get out of here, you packer!
True story.
That is so funny. You see, I wasn't here in those days. I wasn't in Victoria in those days, and I didn't know that that's what Douglas, as you just called him, Douglas Elliott, that's what his background was. I knew him, of course, as a terrific performer, I assumed from radio and television. Didn't know he'd been a publican as well, as Lou Richards was.
That's right, yes, of course. But Doug went back right to vaudeville days, didn't he?
Oh, yes.
Did he really?
Yes, vaudeville and ukuleles and all that.
Yeah, he was in a stage show called Roberta, and was the first to sing in Australia, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes.
You're kidding.
Oh, no, he was a matinee idol.
And those smokes happened at the Luther Gallery. He blew in somebody's face from a turf.
Yeah, it's because everyone used to smoke in the theatre, in the pubs, everywhere.
On stage, wherever.
Yes, that's right.
In the plane, wherever. Oh,
that's right. Oh, except for those 2 rows of seats where no smoking. But, of course, the smoke didn't respect that
and do you
boundary.
know the funniest thing? You can go into the best airlines in the world, the Etihads and the... where else? Air India, who else is flying?
Oh, well, yes, you look at Gulf Airlines and Lauda.
And every one of them have got the smokers.
Yes.
The ashtrays.
The ashtray in the arm.
Yeah, the armrest.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. It's amazing. And
maybe that's for chewing gum.
I don't know whether they're allowed to be used or not.
No, definitely
not.
But
I wouldn't think so. Yeah. I wouldn't think any airline would allow you to smoke anymore.
All right, Pete.
Lovely to talk to you. Have a great night.
Lovely to talk to you. Now, you had a bit of a laugh with that golfing story.
Oh, yes.
Today,
that poor
tonight.
fellow. Yes. Not only did he took a swing because he was in the rough and there was this tree in front of him and he thought, I'll just thread it through the tree, took a swing, the ball hit the tree at great pace and came back and hit him just below the belt at equally great pace.
Yes.
So not only was he rolled around in pain and agony, but he had a 1-stroke penalty as well.
Oh, the poor
fellow. So it's a tough caper, professional golf.
No, you know that, don't you? You're sitting up there like Arnie Palmer.
Yes, indeed, and I'm just about as old as well.
Peter Hitchener, part of Melbourne, part of the Leviathan. And you'll see Peter regularly at Norman's Corner stores and maybe Melford Motors. And certainly the Space Age Bookshop.
Yes. And maybe an Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth and Longstairs. Peter Hitchener, Channel 9.
Bye.
All 7.
10:30. Let's go to Bronny, waiting there in South Yarra.
Oh, boys, how are you?
Look.
Listen, boys, I was hoping to get on when Peter was there because I thought that we would have had a good conversation because I wanted to include him in the fact that I think Chapel Street needs to be a true tourist precinct and shopping should go on until 10 p.m. every day. And I'll tell you why, because they need to change the mix of the shops in Chapel Street. What's happened is they've got all the chain shops there like every other shopping centre in Melbourne. They're totally saturated all over Melbourne. I mean, you only need one to go into one Country Road store anywhere in Melbourne. You don't need to go to 10 of them. You don't need to go to 10 Dangerfields. They're all still they're in every shopping strip. So what's happening in Chapel Street is, first of all, too many cafes and bars, and the shops are so boring because they're everywhere, and only a very small handful of shops are unique and different. Now, I've discovered the best shopping strip in Melbourne, the village shopping strip, is at Hawkesburn.
Oh, all right.
It is so much more energised, it's exciting, the shops are much more interesting, and, it just is a small shopping village strip, but it's got that lovely feel about it, and it buzzes.
Just pinpoint Hawkesburn.
Yeah, Hawkesburn is in Malvern Road, between Williams Road and Mathura Road, that section.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we know it. What about the Jam Factory? Would you go there often?
Not often. It's a bit boring. I mean, you've got Targets everywhere. I mean, who wants all this everywhere?
Yeah.
You see, years ago, if you boys remember Toorak Road, South Yarra, it was the first vibrant shopping strip in Melbourne.
You're so right.
And it was made up of all these individual little boutiques and places. They were all different. They all had their own unique products, and they weren't so commercially, spread out all over the place and making the same things in every shop. I mean, people are looking for uniqueness. And why not make Chapel Street 10 p.m. trading every day? Put on a few limits on some of these bars because that's when all the trouble happens in the early morning, But make it a real lovely place where every tourist that comes to Melbourne can shop till 10 p.m. and they can have a lovely meal out at a good restaurant or whatever, and they can go to a film. They can do all that stuff in Chapel Street.
Yeah, there's a lot in that, I agree.
All right, Bronny.
Anyway, boys, have a good night.
Make a very good point. Thank you, Bronny.
She should be on the Traders Council.
Oh, yeah, man. She'd be good, wouldn't she?
Yes, she would. Full of ideas.
Chris, good evening.
Go, fellas.
Yeah, what's your story?
My girlfriend Sonia, sort of on again, off again, on again, right? She said she was going to come here on Thursday and I would pick her up from Melbourne Airport. But she said, Chris, they're booked out until after Christmas. And she said, even if you get a special flight, it cost her more than $400 to go from Devonport to Tullamarine, but you could go from Melbourne Airport, Tullamarine, to Bali for $179.
That's right.
How does that work out?
Yeah, because they have these package deals that include your accommodation, and they can entice you to go overseas on these cheap airfares, but unless you get a special, you're paying a fortune to go interstate.
Well, she's on the same boat as me. She only gets paid like I do, $400 a fortnight, and
yeah.
there's no way she can get over and get back. I said to her, look, if I win enough money on Derby Day or Melbourne Cup Day, I'll pay whatever money to get over here.
And no, but why wouldn't she come over on the Spirit of Tasmania for $80?
It's booked out until after Christmas.
Oh, well, I'm not sure about that.
Anyway, you were talking about shopping strips now. Well, we have a milk bar close to where I live, just off Camp Road. And he has a I'm not sure if it's $10 or $15 minimum FPOS, so that way people like me who just want to get the, say, Saturday Herald Sun for $2.20 to get the form guide, I mean, they're open at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the milk bars used to open at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning in my early 1970s and 80s. So I have to go around to the bus stop, wait for a bus that runs every half an hour on a Saturday just to get up Safeway to get a paper, or, you know, and I mean, milk and bread are $4 or more each in the milk bar, so, and cigarettes, a packet of 25s costs $26 or $27. But you can give them at Woolworths for $19.95 or $20 thereabouts. And so what's going to happen is I know the milk bars have got to make some income to pay their rent, their lease, their electricity, gas, whatever. I know they've got to put a bit of extra money on. But they've got to learn to compete that if you're going to have a minimum FPOS of $10 or $15, a lot of people who will buy a $4 carton of milk, the main brand milk, say pure brand for $4, and a loaf of bread, or just even a paper, so that's $6. If they get a commission off the fees that the people pay for those FPOS transactions, so they're not losing. So they've got to be able to come down to the level of getting people in the shop. Then people say, well, that's good, I can come back here and I'll probably spend $20-something on it.
Yeah, that's right. It becomes a bit of a magnet, doesn't it, Phil? And,
yes.
And you get to know, that I'll check their prices out, I'll see what they're offering, and you pick it up.
And everyone loves a personal touch, don't they?
They do, and including Chris. Thank you, Chris. Dave, good evening.
Good evening, it's Dave. Well, thank you here. I think people aren't prepared to pay for difference. So what happened to poor old Dick Smith? We've still got some of his products, and where we can, we buy them.
Yes.
But it's a while since I've been able to feel free to call you regularly, chaps. May I say how much I appreciate your attempts to maintain democratic freedom of expression in Australia at a time when we can see this being gradually curtailed to the bend of the strident demands of minority groups who seem to be increasingly treated like sacred cows. But months ago, chaps, you gave a thrilling description of your visit to the World War I exhibition at the Melbourne Museum. It really was an excellent presentation of the displays. In fact, if we hadn't heard you, we would not have known of it. But thanks to you, we went to see it. And since we got robbed by Matthew and one thuggy when in business, there probably won't be an occasion in the future when I can take my family on holiday to England to see any of the thousands of museums there, including the Imperial War Museum. But thanks to you, I was able to take my children to see it at Melbourne Museum and took dozens of non-flash photos. Hopefully they'll come out.
Oh, I hope so, because it was a wonderful exhibition, wasn't it, Phil?
Yes.
Yes, it was the Second World War, wasn't it?
No, World War One.
World War One.
And it's over now, sadly. It's come and gone, but good. Thanks, Dave. Glad you enjoyed it.
Good that you went along, Dave, and we prompted that visit. Pat, good evening, Pat.
Oh, hello, guys. Look, I haven't tuned in long, and I'm probably not in what you're saying, but I wanted to know if any of your listeners were bored with television, like I am, and so I put a old DVD in and enjoyed it. It was Full Monty.
Oh, yes, a good film.
A bit of fun, yeah.
Yes, I enjoyed it. Look, why would you bother with telly?
Oh, goodness me. I can't think of anything. Well, 60 Minutes, the news I love, and...
current affair, perhaps.
Me too, yes, yes. Oh, I love the news. news and that, some of the Brit programs.
Yeah.
Frost and Vera and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but I just thought, oh, God, I'm bored with this.
Yeah. Have you got Foxtel, Pat? That gives you more choices.
No.
No, cable TV is the way to go if you can afford it.
DVD, you can't go wrong with it, Pat.
Yeah.
You go down, make a selection, it's quite cheap, put that on and enjoy a total movie every night of the week if you want to.
Got the video.
That's a great idea.
Videos down in North Carlton have a good selection.
Yeah, good idea, Pat. Thank you. Paper in Sydney revealed the winner of The Bachelorette.
Oh, yes.
In the last 24 hours before the television program, before Channel 10.
That's happening too often.
Well, I don't know whether it's happening too often, but they were revealing shots of the two arm in arm, and this is the selection. This is the one who's been chosen. And you'll see it tonight on Channel. It was quite a few hours before the show went to air.
That's a bad leak, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bad leak, and they're up in arms over it in Sydney, as you can imagine.
Unless 10 deliberately let it drop for publicity purposes, maybe.
Oh, I don't.
Well, you can't be sure. You know, there's always an angle, isn't there?
Well, I suppose you could be
grab
right.
ratings, maybe.
You could be right, but whether they would reveal that choice plum in the pie,
spoil watching it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And of course, social media in Sydney has gone absolutely mad.
Yeah, no surprise element.
And also, where do you shop and why? 96900 693 96900 693.
Well, this is worrying, Bruce. According to Karen Collier in the Herald Sun, unsuspecting shoppers are being dudded by traders selling underweight goods. Birthday cakes, lamb chops, spices, alcohol, dairy, fruit, veggies, seafood, pet food, even hardware items are among contents weighing less than labelled on packaging. Shortfalls of up to 50% were uncovered before and after products hit the shelves.
The trouble is, you can't really take your scales, can you, into Woolworths or Coles and say, can I measure that plum pudding?
Yeah, but you're often disappointed, aren't you, when you open a packet of, say, breakfast cereal?
Oh, it's half full.
Or crisps.
Yeah.
You know, it seems to be fresh air and not much.
It was ever thus. Always the case.
Yes, and as you know now, they've cut back the size of chocolate bars.
Yeah.
And still charging the old price for less chocolate. So,
do you think people worry that much? Do you think it's a great concern?
I'd love to hear from you, folks. Are you feeling you're being shortchanged? And what do you plan to do about it?
Yeah, so the weight on the packaging is not the weight of the product.
Well, perhaps it includes the packaging.
Hello again. This is John Doremus with a passing parade of the story of a delectable diplomat.
Shut up.
On July 9th, 1762, an army of 14,000 men rode out of St. Petersburg. Heading them was Catherine the Great, Tsarina of Russia. Only that morning she had supplanted her husband, Peter, on the throne. At her side in triumph rode the beautiful 19-year-old Katerina Dashkov, the little Catherine, savior of Russia, and the greatest diplomat, courtesan, and scholar of her age. I'll be back with her story after this message.
Now, your heating kerosene is aviation clean for maximum warmth, maximum economy. Amoco, of course, because it's final filtered. Be sure of greatest winter comfort. Call in at the nearest Amoco station for kerosene that's final filtered.
The daughter of one of Russia's most prominent families, Katerina Dashkov was born at St. Petersburg in 1743. She blossomed into beautiful womanhood at an incredibly early age. Before she was 14, every young buck in St. Petersburg was bewitched by her intelligence and charm, notably Prince Michael Dashkov, a nobleman of great wealth. In February 1760, they were married. After giving birth to 2 children, Katerina became involved in the intrigues of the royal court, but she quarreled with the Grand Duke Peter and was forbidden to attend court ceremonies. When Peter succeeded to the throne on Christmas Day, 1761, a pall of terror was cast over the nation. Tyrannical and stupid, he began a reign of unequaled folly. Katerina, who despised and lived in fear of him, resolved to replace him on the throne with the Tsarina Catherine, to whom she was close. She conspired with her husband's fellow officers and gradually won the support of the entire imperial guard. She even won the support of the Orlovs, three brothers who by tradition had shared the favors of Peter's mother, the Empress Elizabeth, and were now the lovers of the Tsarina Catherine. With them, she plotted the final steps in the destruction of Tsar Peter III. On June 27, 1762, Peter removed his court from St. Petersburg to the Oranienbaum Palace, taking Catherine with him. Katerina sent a message to Catherine, asking her to leave the palace and return to St. Petersburg, where Katerina assured her the soldiers of Russia would be waiting to hail her as Empress. Catherine acted on her advice and was duly proclaimed Tsarina of all the Russias. Peter was later murdered. Presumably one of the Orlov brothers did the job. It was done by Alexei, the dominant member of the trio. But once Catherine was on the throne, he had no further use for Katerina. He gained complete sway over the Empress and had Katerina's husband posted to the danger area of Polish Saxony. There in September of 1764, Prince Dashkov was stricken with fever and died, leaving Katerina a widow, and a penniless one at that. For Alexei Orlov had seen to it that Dashkov was stripped of his estates. For the next 8 years, she lived in abject poverty. Only when Orlov fell out of favor with Empress Catherine was she compensated with a grant of 20,000 rubles. Later, she received a further grant of 70,000 and was commissioned to write 2 plays for the Royal Theatre. They won her national acclaim. When Catherine the Great died of apoplexy in November 1796, she was succeeded by her eldest son, Crown Prince Paul, who hated Katerina and sent her into exile. But in March of 1801, he was slain by disgruntled courtiers. His younger brother Alexander succeeded him and saw to it that Katerina was able to live comfortably for the remaining years of her life. Our time is up. John Doremus for the passing parade. And goodbye.
I don't have any pets currently, but in the past, did you take out pet insurance?
No, I didn't, and I don't think it was that relevant at that time.
No.
It may have been, but I don't think we ever... I mean, the pet fee, or the vet fees were exorbitant, but I don't think as much as today.
Okay, let me tell you my experience. In the past, I've never bothered about it, and I've had huge vet fees for x-rays and surgery and medicines and consultations. But for some reason, when Oro was born, I thought, no, he's a young pup. I think I'll spend some money. And the premium per year is around $700. But already I've got most of that back. Oro early on had an ear infection, was up and down to Morris Newport, my vet, on many occasions. And I happened to be insured with Pet Plan. And, you know, most of that $700 I invested in the premium, I've had that back in refunds already. So my experience is, if you can afford pet insurance and you've got a young pet, go for it.
Okay, you might like to comment on that. What is your experience with pet insurance? Have you ever bothered? And at the end of the day, when the lump... the most recent I'd like to hear is Martin Luther King.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I have a dream, that wonderful dream speech he made. Yes, that'll be awe-inspiring.
You have a story to tell, yeah. So, folks, who would you pay big money to go and see?
Well, I mean, they could be personalities. They could be television, film stars, if you like, rock stars.
Yeah.
Who would you pay?
Yeah, well,
who would you pay to go and see?
Dennis Walter was charging for Friday lunch, wasn't he? And people went along in droves.
I don't think $40,000.
I don't know.
Dennis Walter or Lyndon Johnson at the Doncaster Hotel. No, he'd be good, wouldn't he, Dennis?
Yes.
And now, Ruth at South Melbourne, thanks for being patient, Ruth.
That's all right. How are you both?
Hi, Ruth.
Good.
Welcome.
Lovely. Now, listen, speaking on that subject, but, you know, there are lots of people I would pay to go and see, but I tell you what, I'd pay a reasonable price for Dennis and the wonderful Andrew McLaren for lunch.
And
I mean,
so
I wouldn't have a problem parting with the money for that.
And so you should.
Yeah, and I just think, you know, you've got those beautiful rhetorical gifts, both of you, both beautiful voices. There's so few people in public life now with that great ability, the great rhetorical ability. And I miss that. I like a compelling speaker. I like someone who's genuinely inspiring almost. I mean, I see what you mean about Billy Graham, Philip.
Yes.
Whatever your particular brand of Christianity, he just had such an incredible warmth, passion, and conviction. I've only ever heard him on a record. I never saw him in person, but he just came across with such amazing fervour and warmth, in equal measure.
Yes.
So, yes, I know what you mean. But talking about things getting expensive, look, I am a terrible bargain hunter, I am. And I go to strip shopping places all over Melbourne, honest to goodness. And I end up saving quite a bit of money. But I just say, well, long live our lovely strip shopping centres and what have you, because they've just got charm. And if you hunt around, they've got the bargains as well.
Yes, they have.
And you get the personal touch.
Indeed, you do.
Yeah.
And before, when John Doremus was doing Catherine of the Rushes,
yes,
I went to see that exhibition.
Oh, good.
And she was a dog person, Philip. I think she had the dogs on the bed at the end of the day, like you.
Yeah.
And I felt like a bit of a peasant. I think I would have been one of her peasants in the garden.
But I wonder, Ruth, if she had pet insurance.
I don't know, but I think she had such amazing kennels for all of her hounds.
Yeah.
They probably lived better than the serfs.
Yeah,
I would have been in worse circumstances than their dogs.
What was her secret? What was there about Catherine?
I think she had charisma, and she was a shrewd politician.
Yeah.
And she knew how to spend money. If you go to that exhibition and you see how she commissioned this factory and that factory to do this and that, she kept plenty of people in work.
Very clever.
And to me, I like that kind of capitalist. I like a capitalist who employs a lot of people and keeps people in work. That's what we should be commending, I think.
She'd be good in a DFO outlet down in Essendon.
Oh, she'd have it down pat. She would have you all loaded down with stuff, and you'd need a community bus to get you home going there. But no, look, we're lucky. I say Melbourne has the best retail people in the world. I think our people in retail in Melbourne are the best in the world.
Yeah, good.
And every time, any time I have friends come to Melbourne, I send them to the Crabtree and Evelyn factory shop down at Moorabbin,
right,
or it used to be down there, and I send them all over the place. And I say, look, you'll get such bargains. I used to do all my Christmas shopping at the show, and it's not as good as it was, alas. But I still get all my Christmas done by end of October, and I'll have averaged $10 to $30 for each person.
What show? At the Royal Melbourne Show?
Yeah, I used to buy lots of stuff there because you could buy Christmas puddings and you could buy all kinds of stuff. But I got all the kids' posters this year.
Yeah.
The posters were cheap. They were $5. So I bought them all their favourite, Game of Thrones and all these.
And there's costumes, and there's little girls' fairy costumes, etc.
Yeah, all that.
All
and
that,
I got a cat collar for a cat with her name on it.
Glorious.
So little Oro could have his own personalised dog collar.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
Now, listen, Ruth, I think we might get you along to the Pancake Parlour. We've got a voucher here for you and your girls to go to the Pancake Parlour.
Oh, look, I'd love that. And, I do look after a little boy who's a special needs boy.
Take him.
And I'll take him.
Take him.
I know he'll love that.
For a
So
real
thank you
treat,
so
one of
much.
the marshmallow things and the pancakes and the things they make.
It's a $50 voucher, Ruth.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so good to me.
It's
But look, I
open.
must say, I do invite others with it, and so that they share the enjoyment of it. So thank you so much.
Well, it's just you at the moment, but it's open 24 hours at High Point, Doncaster and Malvern East. It's really lovely.
Yeah, well done, Ruth. Bye.
Take your little friend there, Ruth. And thank you for joining us tonight, Ruth.
Thanks again, Bruce. You're lovely, and I love you both.
Okay, darling, don't hang up now. 11 past 11.
Discover life in style by the water for over 55s at Riverview. Riverview's first stage of luxurious villas is almost sold out. With a community centre well underway, now's the perfect time to secure your place in an active and welcoming village. Spacious apartments and Stage 2 villas are now selling off the plan with special prices for early buyers starting from just $495,000. Hurry, these prices won't last. Call 1300 298 439 or visit riverview.com.au.
Census makes business marketing simpler. We can assist you with a web presence, a search marketing campaign, a directory listing, or social media.
No, sorry, that's far too complicated.
Okay, Census makes things simpler. We'll help you get a website, get found on Google, get seen in the phone book and get friends on Facebook.
Yeah, still a bit long.
Census makes things simpler.
Perfect.
Visit census.com.au. Census, Australia's marketing partner.
Harvey Norman Cooking with Colour. Inspiration for your kitchen with all the latest innovations in cooking from the leading brands. Miele, AEG, Smeg, Bosch, Ariston, Fisher & Paykel, Blenko, Electrolux, Belling, Ilvi, Schweigen, Glen, Westinghouse, Euromade and Amiga. Plus hot package deals. Buy now with 12 months interest free. Zero interest, no deposit, no payments. Approved applicants only. Minimum financed amount $300. Interest applies if you do not comply with terms and conditions. Fees and exclusions apply. See website for details. Get cooking with colour at Harvey Norman. Catalogue out now.
Sports Today.
Join us weeknights from 6 as we chat to the big names in sport, along with our pool of expert regulars, including Matthew Lloyd, Caroline Wilson, Dean Jones, Ian Chappell and Damien Oliver.
We assess all the issues and the breaking news in sport
and give you the mouthpiece to ring in with your thoughts on any sporting issue.
Sports Today for Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence, online, mobile and in-store. And William Hill Online Racing and Sports Betting. William Hill, own the moment.
Gamble responsibly.
The parklands in Narre Warren are just outside the windows at Casey Aged Care. It's a state-of-the-art facility now with new ownership and management by an experienced family-owned group. Casey Aged Care is an excellent family option in the area, offering couples accommodation and sensory care at all levels. Bring your family to meet ours. To arrange a time that suits you, visit caseyagedcare.com.au or phone 9705 4200. That's 9705 4200.
Be inspired with the launch of Victory Spring Range. Australian-made commercial quality and exclusive. Visit a showroom, go online or call today.
Victory, Victory, curtains and blinds. 131399.
Hi, it's Alan from House of Recliners. For comfort, relaxation and total body support, you can't go past Lazy Boy Recliners. See our huge range of Lazy Boy in fabric and leather, House of Recliners, Turok Road, Camberwell or houseofrecliners.com.au.
Nightline for Lexus of Blackburn and Lexibition, the Lexus Premier Sales event, on now till October 31. And Caruso's Super...
Where I think I'll go, and I've never been before, ever been to Science Works at Newport? To the planetarium at Spotswood?
No, I haven't.
I think I'll really enjoy it.
And I regret not doing that because they say it's wonderful over there.
Yes.
Reconstructions of this and that and the history and the planets.
It's very hands-on too, I think. Like to join me on Saturday?
Well, that'd be handy for you. You'd love to put your eye in a wishing well, wouldn't you?
Although, well, you know, eye up to a telescope and see Saturn and Jupiter and Uranus, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Mars and Pluto.
Never get him out of there.
Yeah, that's
standing there.
That's a thought for the weekend.
Not paying a quid, just looking at a telescope.
Yes, I'll ring Perry Vlahos. He'll organise it for me, I'm sure.
Perry Vlahos. Oh, well, he's
the astronomer.
He's the astronomer.
Yeah, expect to call Perry.
Oh, Perry, don't do it.
I'm not a freeloader, Perry.
He is.
I'll pay my own way, buddy.
He's vile.
Yeah.
A low of 10 degrees, and tomorrow's weather fine and sunny, a high of 24.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, yes, sir. 23 past 11. Julianne at Parkville.
Yes, good evening, Phil and Bruce.
Yes, Julianne.
And lovely to hear your reminiscences of Lygon Street and the Festas.
Yes.
It's a bit of a shadow of its former self, but it brings back the memories. And I was going to say that I was involved, I lived in Carlton, and I was involved, and it must be 40 years ago, it was in the 70s, with the first Lygon Street Festa.
Yes.
And which was so spectacular. They brought out from Italy a group of, from Gubbio, the flag twirlers.
Yes, I remember that.
Do you remember them?
Yeah, I was comparing there. It was marvellous.
Wonderful, wonderful colour, all dressed up in their medieval costumes.
Yes.
With the flags they would twirl and they marched down the street. They also had a group of archery, dressed in medieval costumes. I nearly copped an arrow standing too close to them, but that was wonderful. And we came in for a bit of comment because I think I must have been on the organising committee, and we got out wonderful. I've still got the poster, huge posters, and it had, the motto was something for everybody.
Yes.
But the illustration was the classical painting of the rape of the Sabine women.
That's right.
Do you remember that?
And somebody thought that happened in Elgin Street, but of course it was many years beforehand.
And there was a bit of a comment about it was a bit inappropriate, really. However, we didn't worry about that. But, Bruce, I can remember you as figuring at Jimmy Watson's many years ago.
Yes.
And that was a great meeting place.
Was it ever?
My father, when I was at the university in the 60s, he was always terribly concerned about me being, he used to think that it was, Carlton was inhabited by the mafia, you know,
yes.
and Squizzy Taylor memories. And it just so happened my first day of university was the last gun battle outside the Thea and Genevieve, the cafe.
That's the one I was thinking of. Genevieve, breakfast for the university kids.
That's right.
What was that, a gun battle with...
Yeah, there was a gun battle, and there were bullet marks left in Genevieve, and it convinced my father that was no place for a young lass.
No. Did he move out or stayed there?
I'm sorry?
Did he move out of Carlton or stay there?
Me? Oh, yes. No, I was there for many years, and we actually, I was actually in North Carlton, just over the border of Princess Street, and it was the days where there was a lot of so-called mafia, but and we used to have a quite active. We used to oppose the spread of restaurants, and we used to receive lots of threats as objectors to planning permits.
Oh, yes.
From gentlemen who used to knock on the door and say, you better withdraw your objection or else.
Yes.
And it was one particular pizza place that this chap wanted to establish. And he said, you can have free pizzas for life. I said, look, I'd rather you shot me than eat your pizzas.
Oh,
and he was so offended.
Don't you mention his name, for heaven's sake.
He was so offended, and he reeled off, and I got all the other objectors to tell him the same thing, and he never recovered his wife's there.
Because it was Mietta's father, the Mietta, who started Mario's, I think, in Exhibition Street.
Yes.
That moved up to Carlton and got that Italian flavour going.
Yes, and but there was some terrific. You mentioned Toto's Pizzeria.
Yes.
And that was the days when they didn't serve wine.
That's right.
We used to have red wine in teacups.
In cups. Like the Italian waiters of Burke Street.
Yeah, that's right. Yes,
great history. Oh.
Yes, it is. And so, I just, I laughed so much when I heard you reminiscing. It was terrific.
No.
And I must mention the Carlton Residents Association, who've battled all these years to keep a lot of the historic buildings there.
Yes, Julianne, you should have a look at the documentary they made, newsreel footage of Carlton.
Yeah, it was on at the Nova. It's a documentary about Carlton. Julianne, I could lend it to you if you can't get hold of it.
Oh, good. Well, look, I do know them, so
All right.
I haven't...
Get in touch with them.
I'll get in touch with my buddies, and that will be terrific.
Oh, I came out about 3 years ago.
Lovely memories of Carlton from you, Julianne. We're giving you a Hamper World Christmas hamper.
Oh, for goodness
And
me.
these are fabulous. Everything is in them, valued at $100, Phil.
I've heard about them.
Tell us more, Phil.
Yes, well, you can order your gift hamper for Christmas from world.com.au.
Well, that will make my day.
Okay.
That's in fact...
And other people's.
In fact, let me correct that. It is one word, hamperworld.com.au. to order your Christmas hamper, but you're getting yours for free.
So we'll be in touch with you regarding the $100 order for the Christmas hamper. And remember, it's Hamper World Christmas hamper that is readily available and just stock full of goodies for that very special
Congratulations, Julianne.
Julianne, lovely memories, a real historical romp through Carlton, which we enjoyed very, very much. Don't hang up, hold the...
There's something probably Jules never even asked you. Do you wear a vest or a singlet under your shirt?
No, why do you ask?
Oh, well, I'm just interested. I do, for warmth, all year round.
What, a singlet?
Yes, chesty bond.
Oh, very old grandpa, isn't it?
No, so you have nothing under your shirt except bare skin?
No, nothing.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that's where we're different, isn't it?
Well, I think we all, in the 70s and 80s, had a he-man's approach to life.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything effeminate about wearing a singlet. Chesty Bond wore one.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Chesty Bond, what happened to Chesty Bond?
Long gone. Passe.
Do you remember that comic strip character, Brick Bradford?
Yes, I do.
He used to get among the planets. He was like one of the first spacemen.
Yes.
And he was this big, muscular bloke who rode the seven wonders of the world in the space age.
I'd forgotten all about Brick Bradford.
Brick Bradford.
Yes, he was.
What a bore.
Was he your hero, Bruce?
No, it
when
was
you
the many loves of Juliet Mills, wasn't it?
Yes.
Juliet, what's that the comic
Yeah, I
strip?
think that was her name, yes. Yeah,
And Little Adna?
yeah, that was sort of a chick comic, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Juliet Mills.
Yeah.
Boys wouldn't read that. And then there was Captain Atom, the Lone Avenger and the Lone Ranger.
Yes.
The Phantom, Mandrake.
Oh, do you remember Stan Cross at the back of the Herald?
Yeah.
I think Wally and the Major.
That's right, the back page of the Herald Sun.
Little Sport.
Yes.
Curly Wee and Gussie Goose. Gee.
Yeah. Little Orphan Annie,
And the
Little
wonderful
Abner.
comic strips of Frith.
Yes.
Or, is it Frith? or
Yes, you're
Frith?
right, no, Frith, yes. We might talk about comics tomorrow night. It's getting a bit late now to start a new topic.
Oh, do you think why?
Oh,
There are shift workers coming in from Fisherman's Bend who have been on the Waterside Workers Federation numbers.
Too good to throw away at 25 to 12.
Oh, that's a smack in the face to all the welders who have just arrived home. Hello, boys. Sitting at the Laminex having a beer. Julie, good evening.
Oh, hi, guys. I don't listen to all your show because I've just finished work, but Phil, I just want to say, I listened to you talk about your gorgeous new dog you've got and how excited he is when you come home and boisterous.
Yes.
Have you sort of, my girlfriend's got a cavoodle and she works all the time, but she takes it to doggy daycare. Have you sort of taken him to doggy daycare?
No, why? Would they occupy him all day? He'd come home
Yes,
tired.
they do. Yep, absolutely. She takes him early morning and picks him up at 7 o'clock at night, and
Really?
he has all his friends there, and it's in Blackburn. It's called hopscotch.
Okay, I might consider it. Because of my working hours, I'm home most of the day myself. So I'm throwing the ball, I'm taking him for walks and throwing him a Kong to play with, so he doesn't get bored, Julie.
But at least he plays with other dogs and has friends.
Yes.
You know, and he socialises, and even if you took him for half a day
Mhm.
and got him used to playing with other dogs, and
Yes.
he runs around, and she only takes him 2 days a week,
All right.
and he loves it, and it just keeps him from just being so boisterous. He's only a pup, he's now 18 months old, and
Yes.
the best thing she ever did.
All right, doggy daycare. That's a very good thought. I hadn't considered that. By the way, have you ever taken out pet insurance?
I had a dog for a long time, but she does take out pet insurance, and she's with, I think, the RSPCA, and it's the best thing because her dog, when she got very sick, and it would have cost her about $3,000, and I think it cost her about $80. I think pet insurance is the best thing.
Yeah, I discussed it earlier. I'm with Pet Plan, and it's paid for itself already.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think they only, when you get the dog or the cat, the same thing for a cat, it's best to get it when they're little because then it goes right through. Then I think after they're 5, you can't insure them or something.
That's right. I took mine out when he was born, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But look, honestly, doggy daycare, it's the best thing she's ever done.
Right,
And,
I'll take that on board, Julie. Good thought, thank you. Because, you know, I'm thinking of having him desexed, Julie.
Yeah.
And having him castrated because he's just...
Why?
Well, he's jumping on my leg all the time, making love to me, and
Oh,
I'm
please.
sorry.
How old is he?
Almost 6 months now, Julie.
Yeah, well, it's probably probably a good idea. Look, really, I think it's a good idea to get it done, even though you might not want to. But I had a German Shepherd for 14 and a half years, and we never had him fixed.
No.
So I think it just depends. I think that at least then you don't have to worry about if he gets out or another dog comes home, or you know. I mean, really, I think you probably should.
This is a bit delicate, but I've talked to the vet. We're thinking of freezing his semen. So that, no, this is serious, so that in a couple of years he can father some pups, Julie.
Well, he's a pedigree, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, very much so. Thoroughbred, yeah.
I wish that when I had my German Shepherd, that's the biggest mistake I made. I got him from a girl gave him to me that used to breed for the Command Club. And this was his father, my dog's father, was the grand champion of England and was flown from England to America, and she mated with him. It's my biggest mistake. I never bred with him because I would have loved to have had a pup.
Yeah.
I just think that was, I reckon I should have had bred with him and kept one of the pups. That was, when he died, it was the saddest day of one of my life.
Okay, well, I'll think of using Oro for breeding.
Okay, Julie, sort of a little too much information there.
Oh, no, if it was...
From making love.
Oh, no, if it was vet talk.
Freezing this and freezing that.
Jack Kirby would talk about all this.
Why don't you do it yourself? Be a very good investment, wouldn't it?
You get
a great sign up the front.
Instead of taking him to daycare.
Yeah. But I really think, and it's a good thing, the interaction with other animals, other dogs, little by little by little, not sort of thrown in at the last moment, but just a gradual thing would be very good for that dog.
Yes, I think he needs to socialise. I think he's getting a bit bored with me.
And I shouldn't say it, but it's a bit like children. They get a little bit withdrawn, a little bit at home with mum, and they're the only kid. And sometimes when they get to school or kindergarten, it's a bit hard to associate and make friends. And everyone's a bit of a bully, or it seems to be.
I think he thinks he's a boss and I'm just a housekeeper.
But once they get there, particularly children, at day centres and day cares can be very good for them.
He has to realise I'm in charge.
Okay, calls coming in, prices by the load.
And Brewers.
Sounds all right, doesn't it?
Yes.
I might go for a bit of scuba diving down at Sorrento on the weekend, and maybe a bit of surfing.
Okay,
that's if the surf's up.
I hope you don't get the bends.
Well, I hope. What are the bends?
Oh, if you come back up to the surface.
Is that something you get when you get very deep in the ocean?
Yes, you come back up too suddenly.
Oh, do you?
And your blood boils. That's a problem.
Did you get the stitch when we were swimming as kids? We used to get the stitch.
If you went swimming too soon after a meal.
And then cramps in the legs.
Oh, yes.
Oh, shocking.
You can drown from that, can't you?
Well, I suppose you can.
Yes, you can, yeah.
Don at Camberwell. Thank you, Don. Good evening.
Bruce, Phil, how are you, Phil?
G'day.
I have a little toy poodle, and I bought him when he was about 6-7 weeks old, and he's now going on 10, and they're a beautiful little dog. The poodle breed, fellas, is a good breed. They're a smart breed too. They're very intelligent, and he thinks I'm his dad. He really does, you know, fellas. He really does. I say to him, Daddy's got some good bones for you tonight. And he jumps up on my lap, and I say to him, give Daddy a kiss. And I go to him like this, and he gives me a lick on the cheek. It's fantastic, fellas. You know, you really. I've always been an animal lover, to be quite frank, and it's nice to know that nature can respond. You know, we're all living beings, but these little creatures, when you look after them, when you show them attention, they appreciate it and they acknowledge it in their own little way. And excuse me, I think that's good. I think that's good, Bruce and Phil.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a little, little or big, it doesn't matter.
No.
And I say to this little boy, he's a little boy, and I say to him, Daddy loves you, Dal. Daddy loves you. And you know what he does? He jumps up and gives me a lick on the cheek. And you tell me they don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and have you always liked small dogs, Don?
Not really, not really. I've had a German Shepherd. I've had a, which was a beautiful dog. But poor guy, he passed away. But in saying that, fellas, generally speaking, overall, I love all animals. And dog is a word that can be spelt backwards. G-O-D.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, good one, Don.
Good, Don. Yes, you've got a lot of affinity there with that little dog, and people say that they're as good as a human, as a friend around the house.
Yes, yeah.
Well, in your case, you prefer dogs.
I much prefer to be with dogs than people. Oh, absolutely.
If you could do a radio show with a dog, you would. If you could find a speaking dog.
Oh, yes.
I'd be flown out to the mutt house.
Oh, yes, I'd trade you in overnight.
Isn't it amazing that there's no other pet, or very few pets, other than dogs and cats? Oh, well, there's the goldfish, I know that, and
Guinea
birds.
pigs,
Yeah,
rabbits.
Yeah, well, there's my argument from shot to the ribbons.
Yeah, yeah, but, you know, dogs and cats.
You wouldn't have a wombat or an anteater.
I don't know you'd be allowed to, would you?
Well, you'd know.
No, stick to the canines for me.
Margaret at Pascoe Vale. Hello, Marg.
Hello.
Oh, you make me laugh, the two of you.
Good on you.
I have a little dog called Jack, who was a gift dog, and he came from this, where they, what do they call it?
Lord Smith?
Yeah, and he came to me, and he is adorable. And all dogs are very clever.
Yeah.
But I just want to tell Phil, he was what they call whatever they do to them. Fixed up.
Neutered.
He's now 10.
Good.
And I hate to tell you, but they don't stop doing it. They pick on someone smaller than themselves, and that's it. And we had an experience here on Saturday night, and it was my son who lives with me and looks after him. And he did it there because he'd been out all day, and I couldn't believe it. But they said to me he was probably done a bit late or a bit early, but it would be very well advice to you to ask your vet. Some say they should have pups first, and I don't see how that goes with a male. But other than that, he is just adorable. We love him.
Always throw a bucket of cold water over him if he misbehaves.
Oh, I couldn't do it. They say to me, and I couldn't do it. And someone else has given us, I can't do anything to. He's too kind to us all.
Yeah.
But it was funny because it wasn't funny, was it? It was he's one that feeds him, takes him for his walks and does everything. And he came in and he was horrified. But he'd been out all day and that was his way.
What, he attacked him, did he? Or...
No, not attacked him. What you were saying before, around the leg area.
Yeah,
all right.
He humped him. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't like this. But first of all...
got a bucket of cold water.
No. I couldn't do it. But the point is, they usually start on someone younger.
Yeah. I tell you what we'll do, Margaret. We'll give you a Kong for your little dog.
Now, have you heard, Margaret?
Yes.
Have you heard about the Kong-shaped?
I have.
Just one moment, Margaret. I'll explain to you. It's a Kong-shaped wobbler, which you've had a lot of experience with. The wobbler is part of Kong's treats. And it's got biscuits and goodies there that he sucks away on and keeps them occupied all day long.
Margaret, I want you to know I've got a wobbler, and Oro adores it. It keeps him out of mischief, you know.
Don't invite him over. Margaret, you've won it. It's valued at $50. The Kong-shaped wobbler. By your silence, you're thrilled.
I'm very thrilled. No, I'm very thrilled. I've wanted one for years.
Good on you, and you got one and the dog. Hold on.
A few rules for life. 1, give people more than they expect, and do it cheerfully. 2, meet a man or woman, marry them, you'll love to talk to. As you get older, their conversation skills will be as important as any other. Don't believe all you hear. Spend all you have or sleep all you want. When you say I love you, mean it. When you say I'm sorry, look the person in the eye. Believe in love at first sight. Never laugh at anyone's dreams. People who don't have dreams don't have much. Love deeply and passionately. You might get hurt, but it's the only way to live life completely. In disagreements, fight fairly with no name calling, and never judge people by their relatives. Talk slowly, but think quickly. When someone asks you a question you don't want to answer, smile and ask, "Why do you want to know?" Remember that great love and great achievements involve great risk. Say bless you when someone sneezes. When you lose, don't lose the lesson. Remember the 3 R's: respect for self, respect for others, and responsibility for your own actions. Don't let a little dispute injure a great friendship. When you realize you've made a mistake, take immediate steps to correct it. Smile when picking up the phone. The caller will hear it in your voice.
Copyright restricts distribution of this piece by any means of duplication.
Just a look at tomorrow's weather for the last time on this Monday. Fine and sunny tomorrow, a top of 24 after an overnight low of 10 degrees. Well, Nightline just sped through tonight, didn't it, for the Monday edition, Phil?
Yes, all over, bar the shouting.
Back here tomorrow night for Tuesday's night, which takes a different tack, doesn't it? It's a different feel to it.
Yes, some new topics tomorrow night.
Thank you for staying up with us. Andrew McLaren will be here after midnight with Simon to bring you Australia overnight. And what's in store, Andrew?
Well, let me tell you, what is in store is communication. Bruce and Phil, good evening to you.
Lacking in this day and age.
So lacking. It horrifies me.
Man, oh man.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you for your affirmation.
Teenagers see each other. Howdy. That's all they say.
It's awesome.
Give me 5.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, give me, it's awesome, it's cool, and then that's it.
Or even, hey.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
I'm
come
serious.
on.
Well, not with Simon and Andrew, let me tell you.
Every night on Neighbours. Hey.
Yes. Whether it doesn't really matter what we're talking about. It doesn't matter whether it's the yeomanry of England in medieval times. It doesn't matter if it's about my gallbladder operation.
You are the talent that could recite a phone book, and I would listen transfixed to 5:30.
I'm so glad that you enjoyed.
Andrew McLaren and Simon after midnight, Australia overnight.
And thank you, Bianca, and we'll see you tomorrow
Good
night.
night, Samuel, Carter, Amelia and Emily, Charlotte, Sweet Ella Grace, Little William Oliver and Sophia Grace. I'm Bruce Mansfield.
And I'm Flipper the Dolphin.
And that's the way she went today.
693 News.
12 degrees in Melbourne, sunny today, a top of 24. It's 12 midnight. Good morning, I'm Jordan Tunbridge. A powerful earthquake has hit northeastern Afghanistan, killing at least 70 people. The 7.5 magnitude tremor was strongly felt across a number of countries across South Asia. One woman living in Kashmir says the quake was terrifying.
We were sitting inside our house on the first floor when we felt the first tremors. As the tremors became stronger, we rushed down and found people crying on the streets. For a moment, I thought this would be the end of my life.
Rosalind Boatman from Oxfam says residents near the epicentre are also battling near freezing conditions.